So with the show, it's actually going to be a new show called Orca Encounter. I don't know if you guys has anybody had a chance to see that yet? Orca Encounter? Well, you could probably view it a little bit on YouTube. It's going to be similar to what we're going to be changing to when the year turns over in 2018. So it's still going to be one ocean for the rest of the year. As soon as the year turns over to 2018, that's when the show changes to Orca Encounter. But it's okay, it's actually a really cool show. You're gonna love that one still. It has a little bit more of an educational premise to it, but no worries, it's still pretty cool. Team Killer Whale. Go ahead, step across the line, just hang out right here. Let me get in there first. Thanks. Actually, which would you guys prefer? Team Killer Whale or Team Dolphin?
Team Killer Whale.
Team Killer Whale.
I know.
Was that even a question?
Sure. I'm shook.
Yeah, I might have to yell or break out a megaphone now. Alright, so welcome to Shamu Stadium. This is where our killer whale habitat is. As you can see, there's some of them in the back right now. Yeah. I know, everybody say it all at once. Aww. Alright, so Shamu Stadium was built back in 1984, a year before our first successful killer whale birth was in 1985. There's seven pools and 6 whales. So just alone in this front habitat show, there's a lot of water in it alone. Here come our trainers. So, like I said, we have 6 killer whales, alright? Killer whales are pretty awesome animals. They have several different features and adaptations that make them survive very well out in their marine environment. Hi guys.
Hey, how are you?
Cameron.
How's it going?
She used to be in my department.
She's an educator, that's right.
Are you guys wanting to get started?
Yeah, we're good to go. You guys ready to meet some killer whales?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, awesome. My name's Justin, this is Alex. We have Holly and Joe too, so we're going to be the team introducing you to our Shamu family today. I want to get some kind of ground rules out of the way before we divvy up into individual groups to meet individual whales. Number one, please don't reach over the glass when we're down there. That's our number one rule. And there is a possibility that you could get wet. We will not try to get you wet if you don't want to get wet, but these are 6,000-pound animals, and sometimes salt water goes over the glass, and there's not a lot that we can do with that. So there is the potential, but we will try our hardest not to if you don't want to get wet. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Can you help me pick people up? You can have 2 groups of 5 and 1 group of 4. Do we have 14 altogether?
Yes.
Okay, great. You know the groups? Yeah.
Yeah.
Already.
Let me get the first individual group on this side. Go ahead and come on down. And then Solo, do you mind hanging out with them?
Yeah, I know.
Perfecto.
Yeah? Oh, great. Oh, good. How'd you like the dinner?
It was really nice.
Come on down here. Just watch your step. We'll have everybody come all the way down. We have these fountains that are a little bit of a trip hazard, so make sure to come all the way down. Sure, if you want to lead staff. This is Maria. See, Jindal. Hi, Jindal. All right. So I'm Holly, so feel free to ask me any questions you have during our interaction. We're going to talk about how awesome she is. You can just leave it open. Yeah. And learn a little bit about her and how we care for them. So super easy, open forum here, so ask any questions, ask away. We're just gonna have a lot of fun. I think what we want to do first though is take pictures with you. Yeah. You're a silly girl. All right, one more because I love this one, and this one might get you a little bit wet. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Stomp your feet really high. Yeah! Good girl. Very nice. So since you guys did all the hard work, do you guys want to feed her? Yeah. You don't have to, but you can if you want. So I'll hand you guys And just like Justin said, just don't reach over, so you can kind of give it a nice little toss. You don't have to get it in her mouth. You can toss it near her and she'll grab it. Yeah! Just like sushi.
She missed it.
She'll find it. I have full faith that she will find it. Makayo sometimes isn't always as easy. Good girl. Very nice. Good girl. She'll find it. And the other thing that she really likes, where did I put my other bucket? There it is.
I'll wipe it down later.
Our ice cubes. So we found some good little waffles. You guys can throw her some ice. She really likes that too. Yeah, it's kind of funny, right? So we found that, go ahead and throw them in. She likes them. She'll find them if she wants them.
Just plop
And
on her.
there's different things that the whales like to eat and play with. So ice is one of them and Jell-O is another. We give them non-flavored sugar-free Jell-O, so there's not really any calories to it, but they like the texture, and sometimes they eat it, sometimes they play with it. And one of the things that we found, have you guys ever made like Easter eggs and like the Jell-O, how sticky it is if you've gotten it all over yourself? It's really sticky when you first make it, when you make the really dense Jell-O. So we found that it has this sticky consistency, so we take it and sandwich a bunch of toys together, and it kind of glues them together when it hardens. So cooperatively, they have to work together to peel them apart, kind of like getting to the Oreo stuff in the middle, which is really fun. So showing how smart they are and getting them to work together to get the pieces apart is really cool. You're a smart girl. I know. So one of the most important things that we do, we teach them lots of fun behaviors, but we also teach them things to help us in their own healthcare. That's really the most important thing that we do every day. So easy things you would think of, like opening up your mouth or presenting different parts of their bodies. Those are really, really important. So asking your stuff like, let's all raise our left arm. Yeah, good girl. So mimics, kind of like this, but this is really important. It allows us to check over her entire body. And then we can check the other side. Everybody raise your right hand. Yeah, good girl. And then harder stuff, if we need to check out her, her blood work, we can actually ask her to hand us our tail. She's gonna move on down here. She's pooping, sorry. Hazard of the job. But she knows to come over and kind of present her tail to us. So if our veterinarians come down in the morning, good girl, they can actually get a blood sample from them really easily, just like you would from the crook of your elbow. If you've ever given blood or gone to the doctor and had some blood drawn taken, you can see their veins really easily on the tops of their tail, or actually the bottom of their tail. So our veterinarians are able to come in and they do feel the needle stick, right? Just like we do. The doctor tells you, little pinch. So we make sure to train them that, hey, that little pinch is coming, but it's no big deal. And afterward, you're gonna get a lot of fun. So every time we train them something, they know when they hear the whistle that they did it correctly and that they're gonna get something really positive and really fun for it. So whether it's a big handful of fish, some ice, some Jell-O, a back rub, a belly rub, all those sort of things help us tell her that, I know that was a little difficult and maybe that hurt just a teeny tiny bit, but it's not a big deal, and you really helped us out in your own healthcare, which goes a long way in helping us train them. Good girl. Very nice. So I heard some vocals over there. You guys want to help me have her sing?
Yes.
She has a beautiful voice. So 2 fingers up, and then kind of like you're conducting an orchestra back and forth. Can you see everybody? There we go. That's a beautiful one. Very good. That's our very pretty singing. Then she has an ornery sing, so take 1 finger and point it at the top of her head. Go. That's a good one. I know that one's ornery. Yes. They make tons of vocalizations. And again, with that health care is really important. Not only the vocals are fun and cute, but we also train them to open their blowhole when we ask. So if, for me, I have a little bit of a cold, if we notice that maybe she's not feeling good, we can figure out if something's going on in her lungs, like you would go to the doctor. And they might listen to your lungs or take a swab. We can actually have them exhale onto a petri dish, send that to our lab, and they can analyze that and see if there is anything going on in her lungs and how to treat her properly. So being able to exhale, even though it seems simple, good girl, that was a nice one. You heard me say it, didn't you? Whoop, no, that one. I know, that one's hard. Ready? That one. Really simple behavior, right? But it's really, really important to the total health and care that we have for the animals in our care, right? Yeah. Are you mashing it? Oh, you're mashing it. Okay, good. You don't have to mash your food. They actually swallow their fish whole. Oh, big ice cubes. Good girl. You guys are really quiet. Any questions? Nothing yet? All right, well, we'll continue to have fun. You guys seem like you are okay with getting wet. Do you want to get wet? She says maybe no, not really.
I do.
You do? All right. Well, if you don't, you might want to like scooch back a little bit. Take your hand and go like this, like real big, like yeah. Get her.
Oh my god.
That was a big one!
The back of your
That was a big one! Oh my goodness! Whoa! Whoa!
Just kidding.
Did you like
Wait,
that?
on
You're
your shirt,
silly
it's like-
girl. What I think is funny is they are really creative in how they interact in their environment, not only with us, but the guests too. So in the beginning of the show sometimes, they'll pick on people in the audience and do that and get them soaked, just to watch them react, to see what you're gonna do. And they'll pick sections and they'll just continue to get them wet and soaked and play with them, because every time they do, the audience goes, ah, and cheers or runs away or something. So they love watching what they do. You do, I know, you're very smart. What a good girl you are. Oh, sorry I have a cold, guys. Try and make it through this. Now you see, we have lots of different types of fish that we feed. They have a very specific purpose. The big ones that I had you guys feed, which are a little bit easier, those are kind of the meat and potatoes of their diet. Those are the ones that have all of the calories, and you can roll over. Sure, that works too. So really important for their diet, meat and potatoes. But these little fish are really important too. They don't really have much calories, but can you guys guess why they're important? It's kind of a stumper. So killer whales and cetaceans, like dolphins and killer whales and sea lions too, so pinnipeds, they can't drink the water that they live in, right? So what happens if we drink salt water? Yeah, you get thirsty and dehydrated, absolutely. So they would get really sick. So this is where they get all of their water content from, is from the fish that they eat. So the variety of fish is important to make sure that they're getting not only their calories, but also water. So this is kind of like her vegetables, lettuce, celery, fruits and vegetables helps provide that water content for them too. And it's all set by our veterinarians, so we actually have a big scale in the background that allows us to weigh the killer whales every day. Well, we could weigh them every day, but we make sure to weigh them every week at least, so that we know exactly how much they weigh. Especially for Malia, she's only 10, she's still growing. She's at about, what was your last weight? Never tell a girl her weight. You weigh about 4,000 pounds, if I remember correctly. And she's got a lot of growing left to do. So she's 10, young adult. She's a young adult female, but when she's full grown, she'll probably be between like 5,000 and 6,000 pounds. So she's got a lot of growing to do. So all that fish is really important, that we know that she's getting the right amount of calories, she's getting the right amount of nutrition, and that she's growing at the appropriate rate. The other way that we can determine that is by measuring different parts of their body. So just like we had you do the little peck-ups and presenting different parts of their body, we can ask them for that and then take a tape measure and measure those different parts of their bodies and be able to get accurate measurements on them. And we use that not only here for our purposes, but also for research. We're working with a researcher that is using that data to better estimate the size of killer whales in the wild. And they can't do that without having data. And we provide the data, which is really cool. Right?
How old do they typically get?
Good question. Average range is about 35 years old, a little shorter for males. Our oldest here is Katina. She's just here in the adjacent pool with her 2 kids, and she is 32. So she's right close to that that average lifespan. So that's one of the things that often gets misrepresented when they talk about average versus maximum. So average is about 35 years old. Yeah. You being a good girl? All right. You're so cute. You're being so good.
She's got a
We're
spot
gonna
right
get
here.
ready to take
Yeah.
everything
In there.
to a photo of this line.
Photo and slide out. Sounds good. Sure. She's got a little scratch there. Just like babies, you know, everything goes in the mouth. So they investigate their environment with their mouth because they don't have any hands. So she was probably playing with a toy or something and got a little scrape there, but no big deal. Just like skinning your knees, right? Good girl.
They like, and where do you Danish moon? They like rubbing their heads on the bottom.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like rubbing rocks sort of thing.
Yeah, they do like to rub, absolutely. They slough their skin really often. We slough our layers of skin every, I think it's like 10 or 12 hours. Theirs is every couple hours. So it keeps them nice and streamlined in the water and very hydrodynamic. So all that rubbing is keeping all of those layers of skin nice and covered.
The holes.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Those little dots, can you guys see them?
Yeah.
Come on up here and look at them. Those little dots are really important when they're babies. Those are actually hair follicles. So as a mammal, the criteria to be a mammal, you're warm-blooded, you have hair, but when you think of cetaceans, you typically don't think about hair, right? They're really streamlined in the water, but those are their hair follicles, and they have whiskers for the first day or so of their life, and then they fall out. Yeah, good question. And it's really hard to see their ears, but they do have little pinholes. Can you turn on your side? And then we'll go up to the slide out. Oh, you went too far. About halfway in the middle of her eye patch, and just under it is a little teeny tiny little pinhole, and that's where their ears are. Kind of, yeah, see where it dimples in when she turns her head? That's their ear. Good girl. All right, Jess, you gonna take hold of Malia here, and then we're gonna go up to the slide out, because we're gonna get a fun picture of all of you guys up there with all of the whales. Sound good? Yeah. All right. Good girl, Malia. Nice, Jess. All right, and follow me.
World, they analyze, for the most part, they're looking at their hormone levels, so they can track their cycles, the monthly cycles that they have. So we do this every single morning. It looks like your first whale that's coming up here is Kayla. It's assigned for Kayla. She was born in Texas, so that's the thing. So they slide their body up, we put that cup down by their genital, she urinates, and then she just got a good job, a little tap on the belly lets you know that that's exactly what we're looking for. So can you imagine a scientist catch a urine sample from a whale that's not trained to do it? It's like impossible, right? You couldn't do it. So that's why this training is so important. It takes a long time, especially with behavior like peeing in a cup, because it's not something that you can easily let them know that that's what you're looking for. So you just have to kind of wait for them to pee, and then you blow your whistle and show a lot of attention when they do that. And then eventually it'll start to happen. Is one of our best peers. She got a whistle, great job, Leah. Excellent. So that urine sample is so important. We also collect monthly blood samples. We get the blood sample from their tail flukes. So it's kind of like getting it from your arm, but the veins are very close to the top of their flukes there. We can take samples out of their breath when they breathe out of their blowholes, ask them to breathe onto you, and this will their blowhole to collect a sample like that. So kind of the sky's the limit in terms of what our veterinarians need and also what our researchers are looking for. Something that Kayla is learning right now is to wear a heart monitor and ECG, electrocardiogram, so we can see what their heart does in different states of rest or activity, and that information is taking a while for the whales to start learning more about what they're like when they're diving or hunting or sleeping. Alright, do you guys have any questions about any of the individual whales, killer whales in general, how we care for them, how we train them, anything like that? Before we get going? Yeah. Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Sure.
How is the killer whale population in the wild being impacted by plastic?
Plastics are a huge problem, not only for killer whales, but for all animals. So we are finding lots of animals that are washing up on shore, encourage people to recycle, use reusable bags when you can, anything to kind of decrease the amount of plastic in the wild. Say it again? Does Trua have 2 blowholes? He has 1 blowhole, just one on the top of his head. But what's really neat, when you look into their blowhole, when they breathe, you can see there are 2 passageways that goes down to their lungs. And that's one big difference between whales that have teeth and whales that don't have teeth. Whales that have teeth, like killer whales and dolphins. Killer whales are just really big dolphins, right? They're the biggest member of the dolphin family. They just have 1 hole, 1 blowhole. Whereas the really big whales that have baleen, like blue whales and humpback whales, they have 2 openings where their blowholes are. That's one little difference.
How is the program changing after like this year? So are
Sure. Yeah, we the company made a decision not to breed our killer whales in the future. So the whales that we have now will be the last.